within a connection. And with the Temperance card, that's kind of what I'm seeing is there are two little, I don't know, were they eels? Two little eels here, some kind of little sea serpent things. And they are, kind of coming into to balance, harmony here. So let's see what else. Pile number 1. Will this relationship work? Will it last? We also have the Queen of Pentacles, okay, which is also a really good sign because the Queen of Pentacles is about nurturing, investing, committing yourself into, your long-term goals, whether that's for a relationship. The Queen of Pentacles also brings an energy in of stability, of security, of long-term investment into something. Okay. So as long, I feel like, is what Spirit is saying here is that you have the power. There is, I feel like, strength in the love and the connection that you do have with this person, but it is up to you, and of course up to the other person. But temperance is, like I said, it's about healing. It's also about being patient, right? Because regardless of where your connection's at, if you're in a relationship, not in a relationship, dating someone, it really depends on you being able to kind of find balance and harmony within yourself so that you can find that with another person, right? Communication also being something that is truly important within connections. And, like I said, with the Magician, it can kind of go either way, really depending on you putting forth the effort, the commitment into something. Okay. Um, regardless, like I said, if you are committed or not, even if you are married, right, you still know that you have to put forth the effort. Just because you get married or just because you commit to someone or you're living together doesn't guarantee that something is going to last forever. You have to still put in the work, right? Relationships take work in order for them to um, last, right? You have to both be on the same page. So let's see. Pile 1, will this relationship work? Will it last? Will pile 1's connection, relationship work? Will it last? We have the 4 of Wands. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty confident, pile 1, that your relationship connection with this person is something that is going to last. We also have the 4 of Wands energy here too. And the 4 of Wands is talking about stability. Some of you with the 4 of Wands, it could be something that you guys are married already, or it could be that this connection is, has the ability to kind of go to the next level. We also have the Knight of Pentacles energy here. And the Knight of Pentacles is about commitment, dedication, slow and steady, right? Where you kind of, move very carefully with things. And not saying that you need to kind of, I feel like need to walk on eggshells with your person, but I feel like more so that you are showing this commitment over a greater length of time, that you are both putting forth the effort. When I first saw this, it kind of reminded me of the Chariot because we have a little wagon kind of thing back here. And it made me kind of feel that, the two of you were able to kind of move forward successfully, right? Like I said, the 4 of Wands is also about stability here. So the 4 of Wands is also, time for celebration and, coming together, union, harmony, balance. And both the Queen of Pentacles energy here and the Knight of Pentacles are about stability, security. And the Knight of Pentacles being more so that you are cautious with every step that you take forward, meaning that as you progress through the relationship, that you ensure that you are making, and both on the same page, both making decisions that are helping you to lead you towards success, right? In the same way that the Knight of Pentacles would take that approach towards their occupation, their career, career and finances, other decisions that you might have in your life, is that you think about what you're doing, right? You think about how you're investing your time and energy into the relationship, because at any time, right, either from their side, your side, in this connection, if someone is not fully committing themselves into the connection, of course things can go south, right? One person decides to lose, the effort or the desire to put forth that commitment. But like I said, these energies here, are really about nurturing and providing, taking certain risks with things within the connection to maybe help improve things, things of that nature. But yeah, I'm getting some pretty positive energy here. Let's hope that it stays that way. When we start going into our oracle cards too, we'll kind of see if there's anything else that spirit shows that maybe you guys need to pay attention to or watch out for. Because like I said, things can change, people change. So let's see what else. How one, will this relationship connection work? Will it last? We have the Two of Wands. Let's see what else. And then we have the Hangman. Okay. Now, what I am kind of seeing, and we do have Strength at the bottom, what I am seeing with this Two of Wands energy here is that either one of you, could really come to a place in your relationship or your connection with this person where there is, a crossroads. There is a crossroads for the two of you. And that could mean, even doing regular kind of communication with your person to say, how are we doing? Right? You're checking in with each other. Even if you're married, even if you've been in a relationship with someone or you've been dating someone for a while, like I said, communication is going to be the most important thing with that person. And if you cannot communicate with your partner, it can really kind of help things or make things kind of go south with the relationship. So the Two of Wands, I'm noticing that in this Two of Wands, we have two little hands here that are kind of bringing their energy together. So I feel like this is Spirit saying here that this is a joint decision for the two of you to really work together with how you see this connection and relationship moving forward. It truly is up to you here. And with the Hangman, it can also be a need for you to both kind of open up with what your perspective of the connection is, no matter how long you've been together, how long you've been dating, how long you've been in a connection with this person, is that you both share the same outlook. You both share the same desire with how you want this connection to move forward. And I'm also noticing that in the Strength card here, there's two of these little crocodiles or alligators. And Strength is about you being able to kind of find harmony, balance within yourself, within your own energy, your own feelings, your own emotions. It's about willpower, right? So it's about both of you, I feel like, coming together with your own willpower to make this connection successful, right? And with the Hangman energy, sometimes it's it could be that you guys need to compromise and really be able to kind of share what your perspective is, and also being open to understanding what the other person's perspective of that relationship is, right? Because if at any point with that Two of Wands, you could both say, okay, we've been in this relationship or we've been in this connection for a year or 5 years, 15 years, and am I happy? Right? And that's where it's kind of important. And this is something that I'm just going to share with you guys. Something that I do with my husband ever since we've been together, because we both, had history, past and stuff like that of not so great relationships. We both had triggers. We both had, just like everybody else, right? You come in sometimes with baggage from your past relationships. So every kind of anniversary, what I do with my husband, our wedding anniversary, is we talk. We go to dinner, we have a romantic date, and we talk. And we talk about, well, this is where I'm feeling that I need, maybe a little bit more, I don't know, what is that word? Not communication, like, just like we allow ourselves to be completely open, non-judgmental towards each other, not confrontational, not trying to, make the other person feel that because they have a certain opinion or they have a certain, thought about something that we're going to just like be angry at each other like two dogs that are, just kind of like fighting and at each other's throat. But it's more so about you kind of listening to what your partner has to say and how they feel about how the connection's going. Kind of like doing like an energy check-in with your person. Like, are you happy? Do you feel that there's something that I can do better? Or do you feel like you're being heard? Do you feel like you're being seen? Do you feel like I can improve upon this or that? So that's kind of what I'm saying here, is that either at any time during your connection with the person, that with that Two of Wands, that you both have the ability to kind of come together to kind of envision what you see for the future, and to both kind of share in each other's perspective here with the Hangman energy. So that you kind of open your eyes up, not just subjective in what you feel and what you think, but you are able to talk to your partner and communicate with them about what they're also feeling, right? And you create that type of environment. And that's where I said that communication is like the most important thing between you and your partner, so that if your partner says, hey, you know what, the other day when you said this or you did this and you really hurt my feelings, and, you could kind of create an environment where you and your partner feel more comfortable about expressing, right, what it is that you feel, what's on your mind, and not feeling like you have to hold it in and not act like you weren't bothered by something that they said, or some type of behavior, or if you notice that they have maybe an old pattern of behavior that they still are trying to work on, or that they didn't acknowledge that something that they said or they did was painful, or that it hurt you, right? That you let them know, and you feel um brave enough, courageous enough to be able to open up and talk about it, speak about it, right? So yeah, I feel like with the Temperance energy here, it's kind of like I'm noticing how they're both kind of like wrapped around each other. Um, the Strength card too here, they're both together. Yeah, so and then the Two of Wands energy, how they're both kind of joining their little magical wands together, and there's all of this magic that's kind of coming out there. So like I said, I feel like there is strength in your connection with this person. I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles energy here, one of you may be someone who's, fully open and to nurturing, developing, growing. Whereas I'm noticing the Knight of Pentacles energy here, some of you may feel a little bit of resistance. I'm noticing that with this Knight of Pentacles, there is this guy who's kind of like riding down this road here, and he looks a little scared, right? There's this chariot kind of looking thing that is kind of following him. And it could be that you are maybe with the person who feels that they need to take their time, they need to slow down, or they're a little bit more guarded or a little bit more cautious with how they do things. But I definitely feel pretty positive about this, about your connection being something that does last. I feel like I said with the Knight of Cups, there's love, there's, romantic feelings, emotions. And I feel like definitely the two of them have the power to be able to create a long lasting committed partnership with this person. But it really is about the two of you coming together to really create that environment of nurturing with each other. Okay, so I am seeing we have strong Sagittarius energy here, strong Leo energy. We do have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We also have Aries energy. Aries. Okay, so let's get into our oracle messages here. So pile number one, Spirit, will pile one's relationship, connection, work with their person, will it last? We have the sixth chakra with Archangel Metatron, and that is the third eye. Okay, so with that, I feel like Spirit's saying, because this is talking about the third eye, which is our intuition. Okay, so I feel like Spirit's saying that this is a time for you to truly listen to also what your intuition is telling you about the person, right? Listening from within, maybe your spirit guides, ancestors, your higher self that is kind of leading you. I am feeling that with the sixth chakra here as well, that this is a connection that I feel like Spirit has guided into your life for a very important reason, a very important purpose. And I do feel like a lot of it is healing, a lot of healing energy with this, and teaching you how to really kind of find balance within yourself, and also helping to teach you, to learn that it is that you can. I feel comfortable enough, safe enough to really invest your time, open your heart. We also have the angel of strength energy here too. Okay. And I feel like Spirit's saying here, I feel like know that there are going to be, I feel like, challenges within the connection, within any connection, like I said, okay? But I feel like Spirit's saying that the strength of your connection and your power within is enough to help both of you to make this connection successful. And it's about, sometimes we do need to kind of take a step back and think, okay, how can I improve this? How can I, you know, be better, like I said, about certain things, about coming into balance or harmony with someone. Okay. We also have a woman holding a coin, which again is kind of like this Queen of Pentacles energy. Okay. So again, I'm getting some pretty positive energy here about you and this person being able to kind of invest in for the long term. Okay. Looks so far so good. Right? But like I said, it's not to say that it's going to be without challenge, right? But it's really about you learning how to come together, because strength is also about us learning self-control. Okay? I will say that, learning self-control, because strength is when we learn how to manage our emotions. Right? Sometimes we can act out very impulsively, especially when we get triggered in a relationship or a connection with someone. And sometimes that trigger can get us in trouble, right? We say things that we don't mean or mean to our partner. We can have old patterns of behavior that are, super diehard things that we've had from traumas or certain things from our past, inner childhood wounds, past connections. And this is where we've really learned how to control those emotions, right? Where sometimes we may feel like we want to lash out, we want to get angry, we want to say mean things, or our emotions are kind of like all over the place, right? So this is about the two of you learning how to calm those energies so that you're not, acting out in a way that may help to kind of stir things up between the two of you, right? So it's about you finding that strength from within to be able to control those impulsive kind of things that you may feel like you want to do, right? We might revert back into, old patterns of behavior that we'd wish that we'd rather not, because there can be a lot of things, like I said, that we say to a partner, someone that we're dating, someone we're in a relationship with, and it ends up hurting people's feelings. Okay, so it's really about you sometimes needing to take a break, take a rest, see things from another person's perspective, and say, okay, how can I improve this? Or how can I respond? How can I choose to respond to this person versus react, right? From a place that maybe you don't really want to. Okay, so let's see. Will this relationship connection work? Will it last for pile number 1? Okay, so we do have passion here, and it says, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So I feel like Spirit's also saying it's a very passionate connection. You guys might be, feeling very strongly, romantically towards one another, We also have romantic feelings, and it says your feelings are real and worth exploring. And then we also have finances and career. Okay. And it says financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So for some of you, it can even be that, maybe one of the challenges or struggles that you have are dealing with finances, right? I'm also noticing there's a woman holding a coin here. So it could even be that maybe one of you is, let's just say, a little bit more, successful than the other. Maybe there's one person who is like that brings in the financial abundance. One person who's, say, more abundant financially than the other person, right? So it could even be that maybe there are some challenges surrounding career, right? Finances, both of you being on the same page when it comes to shared, either putting your money together or sharing the expenses, or making sure that you're not the person who's taking care of all the bills, because that can also lead to resentment, right? If you have one person who's feels like they're pulling the bulk of the weight of the relationship when it comes financially, but also making sure that you are someone, or that your person is also someone who can take care of themselves, who can support themselves, so that there's no resentment that may also come in there as well. Okay, so that may be just a little thing for some of you, is to make sure that you guys are both on the same page. You guys both talk about putting in the same amount of solid effort into it. If it's love, if it's dating, if it's, making time for the connection, but also about shared responsibilities, right? Taking accountability here as well. And it may, like I said, have to do with finances. So that could be a thing for some of you here. Okay. So will pile one's relationship work? Will it last? Right? So let's just say that you are the person who's constantly paying the bill, right? Paying the rent, paying the mortgage, paying for the car payments, paying for things like that. Um, that you let your partner know, hey, you know what? I'd like it if you maybe try to find a better job, or, whatever it is, pays more money, or that you pull your weight, right? That we share the cost of things, that we learn how to, do our finances together. We don't have one person who feels like they're doing all the work and the other person's not putting in that same amount of effort, right? We have no place like home. No place like home here. So to me, some of you, it could be that you already live together with this person. I'm noticing there's two number 50s here. Okay. So some of you, that could be very symbolic for you. To me, I'm also seeing the fives here, which could be about challenges, right? That you might have. There could be some challenges that you do find within this relationship, but I'm also noticing there is a house here. So it's talking to me again about the energy of stability, of security. And I'm noticing that in this little house here, this little door is open and it's kind of beaming out this golden yellow light here. So to me, it's like also, in a way, kind of like the house is set above these clouds, right? So it's kind of like there's clarity, right? There could be some challenges that you might have to overcome with this person, but I feel like there is this good chance of the two of you being able to have a really stable, grounded relationship, okay? So will this relationship connection work? We also have not for you, okay? So let's see what that's about. And then we have mending here, okay? So the mending, like I said, it's about healing. Okay, really about healing. So let's find out what this not for you is. And I feel like I'm noticing that we have a little chessboard here. And to me, this chessboard could be symbolic of some type of challenges, conflicts, and things like that you will need to kind of overcome with this person. Okay, let's see what else. Why is this not for you here for pile number one? Okay, so we have the Empress. We have the Two of Swords. Okay, so I'm just going to be completely honest with this. We have the Empress here, okay? The Empress is a beautiful, beautiful energy here. And we have the Sun. And what I kind of feel like Spirit is saying, and I'm not trying to be mean, but some of you that bring in this Empress energy into a relationship or connection, I feel like Spirit's saying that because you are someone who is very loving, very nurturing, that you bring in a very powerful energy. And although this connection with this person could definitely be something that lasts for you, do you honestly feel like this person is the best that you can do? Okay, is kind of what this is telling me, because we have not for you, and then we have the Empress. So this almost makes me feel like Spirit is saying that some of you are selling yourself short. Not in any way that the person that you're with is not a good person. I'm not trying to be mean and say something like that, but I feel like with the Empress and the Sun, it's like Spirit saying, this is the energy that you bring. This is like, do you realize that? Do you realize your worth? Do you realize that you can have better? Do you realize that you like almost like do you not see yourself, right? Like you are an amazing, amazing person with so much to offer. And I almost feel like Spirit's saying, don't settle, that you could definitely have a beautiful connection with this person, right? Because, and I feel like I said, it's because of the energy that you bring in, right? Look at this sun card, how beautiful and glowing that is kind of lit up there. The Two of Swords energy here, sometimes that is when we are in denial or there's something that we're not seeing or refusing to see about someone, right? And it could be that even though you may love this person may love you, you may have strong feelings for them, are they really the best for you? Right? And sometimes we can keep ourselves deceived or we can be something that we're not seeing. And I almost feel like Spirit's saying, you are the Empress. Do you not see that? Like, do you not see that you are the Empress here? Um, you have much to offer. And that's only what I feel like Spirit is saying. And that I feel like more so if you have a gut feeling, I could probably do better. I could definitely do better. I'm the Empress, right? That's kind of what I feel like Spirit's saying. So please don't take offense to that, where I'm saying that your relationship is not good enough or something like that. I feel like it's merely what Spirit is saying here is that know your worth. As the Empress, the sun energy that you bring in is just a beautiful, glowing, vibrant energy of nurturing and, kindness and love and things of that nature. So it could be for some of you that you probably could do better than the person that you're connected to, right? You could have your pick of the your pick of the litter with I don't know I don't know how to say that, your pick of the litter, right? You could really be and choose like anyone, right? Anyone that you truly wanted to have. And you could definitely have this connection to make this connection work and lasting, yes, but or some of you keeping yourself blinded to the fact that you could do way better. I feel like a Spirit's saying here. And that I feel like if you know in your gut feeling you could, then that's going to really hit home for you. That maybe this is Spirit saying, yes, you can have this relationship connects, you can make it work, it'll last because of the energy that you're bringing in with this person. You guys are healing, you guys are working through things, but are you sure you want to be, are you sure that this is the one that you want? And I feel like Spirit is wanting to be supportive, but also wanting you to know you are the Empress, right? You are the Empress. And that's, I feel like all I have to say about that, is what Spirit is saying here. Okay. Is just the energy, the love, the nurturing, the kindness, the abundance that you bring. Do you feel like this person is on your level, or do you feel like you are deserving of so much better, so much more? Okay. That's kind of what I'm kind of seeing here. Okay. So yeah, for those of you that you might kind of have like a gut feeling like you might be totally into this person, but within your heart of heart, your intuition might be telling you, you know, is there someone else out there for me? Can I have better? Do I deserve better? And that's what I feel like Spirit's wanting you to recognize. Okay. And with that Two of Swords, sometimes we can feel very conflicted. We can feel very confused. We can feel very torn, especially if we really, let's just say, really, really are into someone. We really, or we could be married to them. We could be in a relationship with them. But then there's someone else that just kind of pops into our life. And you're like, oh my goodness, now I have this choice or this decision to make. And there could be this whole new opportunity that kind of presents itself into my life. And I don't know what to do. All right, I don't know what to do. So we do have Taurus, Libra, Leo energy here as well. Okay, so that's just kind of what I'm seeing for this. Okay, so I'm going to leave the reading here for you, pile number 1. Okay, and like I said, don't take it to heart. This is just very specific for someone who's watching this reading. This is Spirit wanting you to know, look at yourself, right? We've got a mirror right back here, and the Empress is the most beautiful, vibrant, nurturing, loving. There's a lot, I feel like Spirit's saying, that you have to offer here, so don't sell yourself short, okay, of that. You bring a lot of beauty, a lot of love, um, into relationships, connections. I have feeling you that you're someone who's very kind, very generous, very sweet, very caring, right? Just don't forget that. And if you at any point you feel, you know, I probably could, or I do deserve better, or I know I could have better, I know that I could, then don't sell yourself short, right? Keep your options open. Or for those of you that were maybe say like you're married and you're just kind of at that crossroads right now, or you're just like, should I even stay in this relationship? Yes, I love this person, or I want to be with this person, but am I deserving of better? Am I deserving of more? Okay. So I'm going to leave it here for you, pile number one. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile two. So for those of you that resonated with the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, this is going to be a reading, and we're finding out today, will your relationship connection work? Will it last? Okay. So let's see, pile number two. Will your relationship connection work? Will it last? Pile number two. What is the energy in your connection with your person? Will the relationship work? Will it last? For pile number two, will pile number two's relationship connection work? Will it last? Okay, so we do have the Knight of Needles, which is the Knight of Swords. So we do have a Gemini, a Libra, Aquarius. We also have the Queen of Potions, which is the Queen of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Will pile two's relationship work? Will it last? We have the Hierophant, Taurus energy. We have the King of Needles, which is the King of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Devil. We have the Emperor. Okay, now some of you, I am getting that there is a marriage that's here. It could be some of you are literally married to this person. And I will talk about the energy. There's a couple different scenarios that I'm kind of getting with this here, and we'll talk about those. But let's see. Last card. Will this connection work? Relationship work? Will it last? For pile number two and their person. We have the Page of Wands. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so what I feel like is happening here, and I'm seeing the Three of Needles right underneath that. So I am kind of feeling that this response from Spirit here is that it is kind of like 50-50 with this person. And I will tell you why. Some of you, I feel like you are married to this person. Okay, that's the first message I'm getting. There is a marriage that's here. And you may feel that there is a lack of an emotional connection to the partner that you're with. I feel like there is a clear difference between one person being very like connected and tuned into their feelings, their emotions, or some of you may feel like the person that you're connected to, there is detachment, or a person who's not connecting with you on an emotional level that you really need from the person. Okay, it could be that one person is already kind of like emotionally checked out of the relationship or checked out of the connection. And With the devil energy being here, it could be that you kind of feel like you're stuck, or the other person could feel stuck or trapped with the devil energy, because the devil can be very codependent. We can become codependent on a spouse, a partner, somebody that we're in a relationship with or in a connection with. And some of you, it could be that if you're not even married to this person yet and you're just maybe like you're dating or you're in a connection with them, that you are really looking for commitment and you're looking for serious commitment. And it could be that this person is someone who may not necessarily be sure that they want to take things to that next level. One person is really thinking with their heart, their feelings, their emotions into the connection, whereas the other person is kind of putting their logic over their heart space. So I'm feeling kind of like a clear disconnect between those two peoples about whether or not the two peoples, the two of you, or one person is not on the same, I feel like, level. There's a disconnect here, okay? And it could be that you do feel like you need to stay. You could feel stuck. You could feel trapped. You could feel kind of bound to this person, right? It could be some of the, feel like you're kind of stuck in a marriage that you don't really, there's not really that loving connection with that person anymore. Some of you are kind of questioning whether or not you want a new relationship. You could have other options. And I'm seeing the Three of Swords energy here. So some of you, that Three of Swords could represent separation, divorce, breakup. It could be, I'm just kind of feeling there's a disconnect. So I am kind of getting this energy from someone, and it could be you, or it can also be the person that you're connected to. That one person is kind of like questioning whether or not they want new love. They want new love, a new beginning in love outside of whatever this connection is that you have with this person. Okay, so that's honestly what I'm kind of feeling here, because the Seven of Cups can be when we are exploring other options, or we do have other options. And it could be that one of those even ideas or things that we have on our mind is this Three of Swords. And that could be a painful situation, a painful ending. It could be a breakup, like I said, separation, divorce, disappointment that you feel, heartache over a situation, because like I said, I'm seeing a clear difference here between one person emotionally investing themselves into it, whereas the other person could be maybe a little bit more detached, cold, disconnected, withdrawn from their heart space. And I'm feeling that there is someone here that's kind of craving this, wanting to be released. I'm feeling, looking at this Ace of Cups energy here, and the aces in the tarot are about new beginnings, new starts. And I'm seeing that out of this bottle here, there's this butterfly that's emerging out of this. So it could be that this connection has maybe been something that has transformed you over time. And I'm feeling that there's a lot of your own feelings and your emotions that you're wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, wanting to be expressed. Some of you may be, like I said, in a situation where you're really wanting commitment with a person, and they may not necessarily be on the same page as you. Okay, I do feel like there is a passionate connection between you and this person. Okay, that could be that you still feel drawn to them. Maybe you still feel that they're attractive for some of you, but I'm kind of getting this energy here with the Page of Wands that someone is feeling the need to explore, or wanting excitement, wanting more passion in the relationship, and that may not necessarily be something that you're getting from this. And with the Devil energy here, it can even be that you feel afraid to break away from the relationship. You could be afraid of separating. You could be afraid of divorce. You could be afraid of, these things that you really want. And maybe that if this person is not giving that to you. I'm also feeling with the King of Swords here and the Emperor, these two energies are not the most kind of like expressive of their feelings and their emotions. The Emperor is going to be more so kind of hiding. I feel like there is loyalty in this person's heart with the Emperor energy. Whoever is representing the Emperor, it could be you or it could be the other person. But I feel like with the Devil energy here, there can also be some fears that a person has about serious commitment. And I feel like I said, just one person being on a different emotional level or an emotional connection, or feeling the desire to be loved or to be nurtured or to kind of have something more. So somebody can kind of be questioning what other options are. So I'm not getting the most positive energy from this pile about the connection working or lasting. I feel like someone is definitely being trapped by fears, illusions. There could be codependency, attachment, obsessive energy that you might have with a person, where one person is, like I said, feeling with their heart, it feelings their emotions, and the other person is just kind of a little bit more detached, not as emotionally connected. So, and I'm just kind of feeling with the Ace of Cups energy here, I just, kind of feel like someone is kind of thinking like outside the box, like what else? What else is out there? There could be boredom. I'm kind of picking up here, maybe from one person, feeling just the need, to like almost like someone's heart is not settled. Someone doesn't feel good. They don't feel like their needs are being met, I feel like, within this connection. Okay, so I don't get the best feeling of this being something that does last. I feel like if the question on the mind here is separation, breakup, divorce, a painful ending, some of you could even be in third party situations that are just not a good situation to be in, then that can also be that, are you kind of like selling yourself short? Is there something else better out there for you? And should you take that opportunity to kind of break yourself free from a situation with someone that's not really giving you the time, the love, the energy that you're really needing with this person? Okay. So if you're already, like I said, already questioning it, this connection is maybe bringing you confusion or clouded kind of judgment behavior. The Seven of Cups can also be when we're stuck in a fantasy, we're stuck in an illusion. Some of you may even be fantasizing about separating or breaking up, or painful situations. And I'm also noticing how this Queen of Cups, like she's kind of grasping onto her heart here. So yeah, to me, it's just, I feel like not the greatest about this connection being something that will last. Um, it could be that, like I said, the person that you're connected to may already be kind of detached, or just two people who are kind of like on two different pages. Okay. So we do have Aries energy here. We have Capricorn. Uh, we have Cancer. We do have Taurus energy here. Pisces. Scorpio energy. Libra. What else am I seeing here? We do also have some fire sign energy here. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's get into our oracle. Pile number 2. Will your relationship connection work? Will it last? Okay, so we have a caring connection. We also have woman holding a heart. Will this relationship work? And we have the storm warning. Okay. So yeah, to me this looks very destructive. Um, something that can start out where this person feels very connected to you, very loving. Like I said, I'm kind of getting there's a feminine energy here. It doesn't have to be, but with the Queen of Cups here and also the woman holding a heart, I feel like a lot has changed. I feel like maybe within your heart, your feelings, your emotions, also your needs, like maybe you're feeling like your needs are not being met. Is kind of what I'm saying. With the storm warning here, this looks very destructive. It almost looks like tower energy, right? And it could be that maybe this person and you are not meant to be. And this could be something where spirit is kind of giving you some signs that this could not be a situation, or maybe even a situation that's going to end, you know. To me, this is a lot of turmoil, upheaval, chaotic energy, very destructive. Like I said, for some of you, it could be something that started out really beautiful, very sweet, but then kind of with the number 10 here, tens are about completion within the tarot, a cycle coming to an end. So it could be that there is inevitable between you and this person, inevitable ending, right? Separation, breakup, divorce, energy that's just kind of hovering over the connection. Okay. The devil can also talk about toxic connections, karmic connections. So some of you could be that this is a karmic relationship, or even there's a karmic relationship that needs to come to an end. It could be something that is, you know, bringing in a lot of very destructive energies that could be upheaval in the future between you and this person. Like I said, it's just kind of giving me tower energy here. So let's see what else. Actually, let's go into these romance angels first. So pile number 2, will this relationship connection work? Will it last? Okay, so we have attraction here. And it says you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So there could be attraction between you and this person, right? We have true love, and it says this is the romance of a lifetime. So will this relationship work? Will it last? And then we also have soulmate. Okay, so for some of you, it could be that this person maybe was or is the love of your life. Maybe they are a soulmate. Does that guarantee because someone is a soulmate that they're going to be your forever person? No. Okay, because soulmates could be, can have many different soulmates within our life. Okay, and some of those soulmates are meant to be in our life for short periods of time. Soulmates can be our friends, soulmates can be coworkers, soulmates can be pets, they can be parents, they can be sometimes romantic partners. Okay, some of you could be, I'm also getting in a situation where you are stuck in a marriage that you were not wanting to be in, and there could be other options for you. And this storm coming in could be helping you to kind of break away from someone that you feel codependent with, obsessed with, attracted to, attached to. And it could be that in order for you to connect with your soulmate or your true love, you're needing to release the person that you could be with right now. And that really could be about you needing to see the connection that you could be connected to right now that needs to come to a separation or an end, right? So that you can come into alignment. Because like I said, that storm warning kind of reminds me of tower energy. And the tower is something that comes in by divine intervention, meaning that spirit is trying to help us to get us redirected onto the path that we're meant to be on. So there could be something that's being removed or trying to be removed from your life. It could be an inevitable ending that needs to take place so that you can open yourself up to new love, because that's what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Cups. Okay, there's a new opportunity, a new beginning in love, but there's something also that you may be attached to, stuck to, holding on to that may not be best for you or meant for you. Like I said, for some of you, you could be missing an emotional connection with someone. And in order for you to open yourself up to that new love, you have to let go of what is not serving you. So some of you, I'm getting where this is a situation that you have to, if there's something is trying to be removed from your life, let it, okay? Because it's going to bring you into alignment with the person that you're meant to be with, okay? There has to be some type of ending here with this person, either that you're still attached to, or that even for some of you, like I said, a marriage or a commitment that you're kind of stuck in right now, and you're not feeling happy. You're wanting something different. You're wanting a change, and this is spirit saying, let go. This ending is inevitable here, okay? So I feel like there's someone else out there for you, especially if you feel like the connection that you're connected to or attached to or codependent on is something that you don't like anymore, or that you're not feeling completely happy, 100% content, and you feel this craving in your heart, this pulling for someone else. There is a something that you're needing to end or separate from so that you can explore those other options and really focus on opening yourself up to something new. Okay? And especially for those of you that kind of, like I said, are stuck in a marriage or stuck in a relationship and you just feel like my heart for some reason is calling me into a different direction. Trust that it's happening for your highest good. Okay, we have come to the edge here. Okay, so again, we're getting this energy here where you're needing to separate yourself from something, leave something behind enough to take a risk or a leap of faith into this something new. And that to me is aligning with something new for you, new love. Okay, so Spirit's saying, come to the edge, right? I'm also noticing she's wearing this beautiful white dress here. So to me, that's also symbolic of purity, of innocence, of a new beginning, right? So let's see what else. Where is this? Or will this relationship work? Will it last? We have time for a nap. Okay, so to me, it's like Spirit saying you need to take some time to really put things into perspective for yourself. Time for a nap to me is about resting, about gaining clarity, being able to see something clearly. Okay, because this, like I said, the Seven of Cups, for some of you, it could be that you're keeping yourself stuck in an illusion, a fantasy, of something, right, that you want. And it could be that you're not seeing something clearly. Maybe for some of you stuck in a attachment with someone that is not good for you, or someone who's not giving or not meeting your needs. And this is Spirit trying to help you to separate you from that person, to open you up to the something new. Okay, not being afraid to walk away or to let go. So pile number 2, we have unfinished symphony also with the number 10. Okay, so again, this completion here. There's some cycle that you're needing to complete, I feel like, with this person. Okay. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting here, is that this is spirit kind of wanting you to keep yourself open to other options. So, I feel like Spirit's saying you have a lot to offer, you have a lot of love to give, and I'm just feeling that maybe a current situation that you're in or someone that you're currently dealing with is not meeting you on that level, and there's something you have to let go of. Something Spirit is trying to get your attention with, and it's really to help you to break away from any type of codependency or unhealthy attachment or obsession that you might have, or even stuck in a situation that you feel like you cannot get yourself out of. The devil is an illusion. It makes us feel like we are stuck, makes us feel like we're bound, stuck, trapped, or, attached to someone that we cannot let go of. And I feel like this is a need for you to kind of let that person go so that you can really open yourself up to aligning with the person that you're meant to be with. So, will the connection that you're in right now last? I don't feel it will. I feel like you're meant for something greater, something bigger, something more, something that's truly going to align you with the person that you're meant to be with. And this soulmate energy here, the love, the true love here, the romance of a lifetime with a woman holding a heart and a caring connection. To me, that's what Spirit is trying to help you to lead you towards, is you completing the cycle, right? Some of you could have been like an ongoing situation that you have going on and on and on. And it's like Spirit saying, this is the end, right? With the tens here, it's time to take some time, really reflect, really think about things, and really kind of get yourself free from whatever situation that you could be in, to really align yourself with who you're meant to be with. Okay, so I'm seeing that this is a situation that needs to come to an end. Separation, breakup, divorce, to really kind of open you up to something new. Okay, because yeah, that 10, the storm warning here to me is a lot of very destructive, chaotic energy, and sometimes Spirit will give us kind of like a lot of signs about something that needs to shift, something that we're needing to let go of and release, and we don't listen, right? We don't listen, we don't see, we're not seeing something clearly. So that to me is kind of Spirit's way of doing it for you. It's almost like inevitable change, inevitable destructive energy that's trying to show you, to help you to get redirected to where you're meant to be. Okay, which is what I feel like is happening here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here for you, pile number 2. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, Pile 3. So, for those of you that resonated with the Hocus Pocus Tarot, this is going to be your reading today, and we're looking into, will your relationship work, your connection work, will it last? Okay, so let's see, pile number 3. Will your relationship connection work? Will it last with the person that you have on your mind? Maybe somebody that you were already committed to, married to, in a relationship with, in a connection with. So will this relationship connection work? Will it last? Pile number 3. Okay, so we do have the King of Lightning, which is the King of Swords. Will pile number 3's relationship work? Will it last? Will this relationship connection work? Will it last for pile number 3 and their person? We have the Four of Pumpkins, which is the Four of Pentacles. We do have Capricorn, also Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Will pile 3's relationship connection work? Will it last? Okay, so we do have Strength, Pile three's relationship, connection, worth, will it last? Okay, that one wants to come out. We have the 10 of candles, which is the 10 of wands. We also have the high priestess. So we also have Leo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Will this relationship, connection, worth, will it last between pile number 3 and their person? We also have the 2 of wands. We have the 2 of pumpkins, which is the 2 of pentacles. And then we have the Knight of Lightning, which is the Knight of Swords. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So I will say that the energy in this connection between you and this person looks like it is very mixed, very back and forth. I am seeing some stagnancy within this connection. And I feel like it's also something that could be quite frustrating for you. Looking at the strength card here, the way that she's kind of has her hands on her hips, looking at these, or let's see, is she in the house? It looks like she's in the house almost, even though she's the one that's kind of holding her little trick or treat, kind of little Halloween candy bucket here. But yeah, to me, she looks a little bit frustrated. And with the 4 of Pentacles energy here, this is talking about stagnancy. You know, so I feel like it's a connection for you that is very, very slow to progress. And this could be something that some of you are in a situation where this is like you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for this person to just like change the dynamic here in the connection. And it almost kind of gives me this energy of uncertainty for you about whether or not this will actually last for you. Because with the 10 of Wands energy here, this is when we are feeling a lot of heaviness, a lot of burden, a lot of stress. It could even be someone that you're dealing with who's kind of holding themselves back. And I feel like with the King of Swords energy here, looking at how he's kind of holding that light like way over his head, to me in a way that's kind of symbolic of needing to see things clearly, needing for things to be really illuminated in this connection with this person. And even in this Knight of Pumpkins, he's holding this bucket way above these little kids' heads, you know, almost like they're reaching for it and they cannot reach it. They cannot reach the candy that's in the bucket. And he's kind of just like holding it way above them, you know? So it's almost like to me of you kind of getting very frustrated with this person, with the connection. And I feel like with the Two of Wands energy here, this is speaking about things kind of being at a crossroads and where you have to make some type of choice or decision here. The Two of Pentacles is a need for weighing our options with something, needing to weigh our options about, you know, whether or not it's worth it to even be with this person or wait for this person. For somebody with the Four of Pentacles energy here, it can even be that you're settling. You're settling with this person, or that you are kind of like, things are not moving forward, right? Things are not changing. Like, even if, let's just see if you're married to this person and you're asking this person, hey, can you be more loving? Can you be more open? Can you communicate better? Or it's kind of like this person looking at this, he has like a very smug look on his face, you know? And to me, it's kind of like, are you with someone who's kind of like saying the right things to you, but there's little change that's happening, right? And this could be something that gets very frustrating for you. And intuitively, you may be feeling like, should I just let this relationship go? You know, because it could be that you're not really seeing any action that's being taken, or constantly feeling like this person is someone who is kind of like telling you or talking to you about things are going to get better, things are going to change, things are going to this, things are going to that. And it's like they never get there. you know, kind of like being symbolic of you being the person who's reaching for this pumpkin full of the candy, and you're wanting, right? You're wanting maybe stability, you're wanting security, you're wanting more honest or open communication, you're wanting more love, you're wanting this person to kind of open up more, and you're noticing that there is little change that's happening here. So I'm just feeling like this connection here, almost in a way, spirit saying whether or not this relationship lasts is kind of like also up to you. Because with the Two of Wands here, this is about you making a choice or decision and needing to use your intuition with what you feel. With the High Priestess energy here, I feel like spirit's saying, some of you that are kind of looking at that question, the question today, you know, will this relationship work and will it last? What does your intuition tell you? You know, especially if you're kind of dealing with someone with the Two of Pentacles energy here who's very hot and cold, or it's kind of like there's so many like ups and downs, back and forth in this connection here. That's where I'm feeling like spirit's saying you're really needing to kind of illuminate this relationship and kind of see what it is. Because with the Ten of Wands, to me, it could be that you grow tired, you get just exhausted, fatigued, tired, and that could be of waiting for things to change, waiting for things to happen, waiting for things to improve within the connection. And it's kind of like constantly like this person is kind of like holding this candy kind of like over your head, like this is what we could have, but I'm not going to give it to you. It's going to constantly feel like where you're asking, you're begging, you're wanting something better, something more. And it's kind of like this person is keeping this away from you, almost like, you know, but kind of saying the right things to you that are keeping you hooked or keeping you just kind of like in this period of just waiting for things to get better. But to me, it's kind of like you might come to a place where you just feel completely exhausted, tired, drained, from it, and absolutely frustrated looking at the Strength card here. So yeah, to me, it could be someone holding themselves back. The Four of Pentacles is little changes. Some of you are literally settling in this connection with this person, or there's nothing happening. It's like things are not changing. You're constantly wanting and yearning and, you know, for something better or something to improve. And I feel like Spirit's saying your intuition is already telling you what you're needing to do with this person or with this relationship connection with them. But sometimes we, you know, we feel like we don't want to listen to what our intuition is telling us, what our gut feeling is telling us about a situation or person, right? And it is a need for us to kind of make a decision here. But yeah, I feel like with the Two of Pentacles here, this is Spirit saying really take some time to be more objective about this connection with this person, especially with the King of Swords. It is about us taking an objective look at it, looking at all the details, all the information, and being completely honest with yourself. Do you really feel, looking at what the dynamics are with this person, that it is going to last? And I'm not getting the best positive energy from this to say that yes, you know, absolutely you and this person are going to last. To me, it kind of looks like very 50-50. Someone feels like there's something that they're needing or they're wanting that they're not getting. And it's kind of like tired of waiting for things to change, tired of waiting for things to improve, tired of waiting on this person, tired of just, you know, the inconsistency within this connection. So I'm not getting the best energy of this being something that is going to last. However, you know, these can change, people can change, you can grow. But yeah, looking at this energy, it looks very stuck, very stagnant. And I feel like Spirit saying here with the High Priestess, you already know. Your intuition is already telling you whether or not this is going to be something that lasts, especially if you are that little kid here who's constantly trying to reach and reach and reach for that little bucket of candy. To me, that's symbolic, kind of like of the Ace of Cups, the renewal in love or beginning of love, or, you know, kind of like a new opportunity. So to me, like I said, not getting the best energy from that. So what else do we have here? We also have Capricorn, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, so let's go into our oracle messages, pile number 3. So will this relationship work? Will this connection last with this person? Okay, so we do have the man holding a heart. Okay. And some of you, I feel like you are dealing with someone who's very, very guarded here. Okay, someone who's definitely holding themselves back, and that can get tiring, right? If this person is holding back their feelings, they're very guarded, not really connecting with you on an emotional level that you really want here. Okay, so will this relationship connection work? Will it last for pile number 3? We also have man holding a coin. And then we have the door to spirit. Okay. So let's see what else is coming through. We have give your relationship a chance. Okay. So I'm solely feeling like this is kind of going off of what your gut feeling is telling you. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is an extremely slow moving energy. Okay. So especially for those of you where you have been, let's just say, waiting for commitment, right? And this person is constantly like holding up over your head and you're just like, can I have it? Can I have it? Can I have it? And they're just like, not yet, not yet, not yet. That's kind of what this is telling me, is like this person may be someone who's extremely slow moving. You know, we have give your relationship a chance here. So for some of you, if you feel it is worth it, right, to continue to invest into it, right, you could be somewhat with someone who is maybe a little bit more guarded with their feelings, a little bit more guarded with their heart. If, however, you are in a situation with someone where they are being inconsistent, they're not really showing you that there's any change in the relationship, no improvement. Of course, you have to always trust your gut feeling with what you feel is best for yourself, right? Especially if you're someone who's, let's just say, you're wanting commitment now, right? You're looking for someone to be the commitment now, and this person that you're connected to is telling you that, or not saying anything to you at all, right? They're not giving you any clear indication as to this relationship or connection leading to a deeper bond or love or a higher level of commitment for long term between the two of you. Always trust your gut feeling. Okay, but yeah, I'm seeing stagnancy here with the Four of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, afraid to leave, afraid to let go. It's kind of like you feel maybe like very in between here. Okay, we have work on your partnership here. Okay, so it is, like I said, with the King of Swords, a need for being honest, a need for clear communication, being straightforward with your person, being straightforward with what it is that you want. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling frustration here with what you're feeling, maybe with each other, with this person. Definitely tough, right? Tough, challenging cycles that you may go through with this person. We have honeymoon here. So I feel like there's spirits saying, for some of you, we've got heart-to-heart conversations. Look at that. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And then we also have chemistry here, and it says there's a strong magnetic attraction here. We have the honeymoon, and it says enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So some of you, it could be that you're really needing to take action here, right? Especially if you notice that this relationship has gone stagnant, the marriage has gone stagnant, the dating life or whatever it is you got going on with this person, if it is not moving, right? Maybe for some of you with the Knight of Pentacles, this person is showing that they're committed to you, but maybe they don't take you out anymore. Maybe they don't take you on dates anymore. For those of you, there is worth it for you to take the time to actually talk to your person, talk to your partner, right? Work on it is what Spirit is saying here, especially for those of you that are already committed to this person. You're married to them, right? You're committed. You've been living with them, or you're in a relationship with them for years already. It is worth it for you to let them know, hey, you know what? I need you to show me more love. I need you to be more open. I need you to, be more willing to talk with me about our feelings and kind of do little check-ins with each other to see how we're feeling, how we're doing, what we want, right? So I feel like Spirit's saying there's enough of this energy between the two of you. And for some of you, it could be that, you're needing to learn how to have maybe see more self-control, especially if sometimes your words can come across as very cold or detached. Maybe it could be communicating with you more, having heart to hearts here. It's just honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Tell the person, hey, you know what? I would like it if you show me a little bit more consistency, or I would like it if you open your heart up a little bit more. Okay, I feel like Spirit's saying totally trust what your intuition is telling you. Like I said, some of you, your gut feeling may be telling you this person isn't going to change. And if that is what you feel inside, it could be that you really, like I said, allow yourself to kind of really illuminate things in this connection with this person. And if you feel like your intuition, your gut feeling is telling you, leave it, right? Let it go. Then that is what your intuition is saying. It's not going to be the same for all of you that chose this pile. Some of you may be in a different situation with your person, or maybe it has got a little stale, right? Maybe, like I said, you guys don't go out anymore. or things have kind of shifted a little bit. But I feel like with the man holding a heart here, the man holding a coin, that there are romantic feelings that are here, right? There is investment into this connection. It's just like I feel like you want to learn, because the Two of Pentacles is also about finding balance. It's about priorities. So it could be that you're needing to really prioritize your relationship at this time, and maybe that you could let this person know, hey, I want you to prioritize me. I want you to prioritize a relationship. And if the person doesn't show you any change, it may be that you need to walk away. Okay, so I feel like Spirit is saying here that you have the power, you have the tools to be able to make a decision. But with the Two of Wands here, it's like Spirit saying this relationship's at a crossroads right now. You can either choose to put forth the work, have the conversations that are difficult. Sometimes hey, this relationship has gotten stagnant. This relationship isn't really progressing in the way that I thought it was. Be honest with each other so you know where you both stand. You guys can both really open your heart up and talk to each other from the heart, honestly, openly, right? With the whole give your relationship a chance here as well. So let's see what else. So like I said, I kind of feel like it's 50-50, especially with the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of like you have to really weigh your options here. What is this person showing you? Okay, we have the door to Spirit here as well. So to me, it's about, also listening to intuition, listening to your higher self, right? What is your higher self telling you about this situation with this person? But some of you, I just feel like like there's a lot of frustration here, getting frustrated with the situation. Some of you are needing literally spend more time with each other, prioritize the relationship. Okay, definitely feel like there is love here, but making some improvements. Okay, can never hurt. Let's see, will this relationship connection work? Will it last? We have chop wood here. Okay, so chopping wood, this card is symbolic of sometimes needing to take a little bit of a rest, a break, right? And that could be that you spend some quality time with each other, or you spend some time alone to really think, okay, what can I do, right? How can I improve this? Because this is like a card of reflection, rest, taking some time to think, really think about things. Okay, like I said, being more objective about it with that King of Swords. So will Pile Three's relationship work? Okay, we got no place like home. Okay. And then we have the fork in the road. Okay, so again, same energy here. With that, like I said, we put the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, because your fork in the road is saying, do I want to continue on this path with this person? Especially for those of you that are getting frustrated with things not changing, things not improving, and it's a decision for you to make. And I feel like Spirit's saying, you already intuitively, if you need to leave or it's worth it for you to stay. Okay? But yeah, we have fork on the road. So it clearly is your decision, this person's decision. They can also be the person who's, maybe frustrated, where things have been stressful, or there's been a lot of heaviness, burden here. Okay. We have loyal heart here. Okay. So it could be that you guys do love each other. You have a very strong connection with each other. Some of you may even live with this person with the no place like home. But it's really, regardless if you're married to the person, in a committed partnership, you've been with them for years, you've been with them for less than a year, right? Or you're not even committed yet. It is about you really taking some time to really put things into perspective. Take some time. Is it worth it to you? Right? Is it worth it for you? Or do you really feel like this person is just not changing, especially if you've already been committed to them, the relationship's got stagnant, and there's been no change, right? No change. Just because you're in a relationship or married to someone doesn't mean the work stops, right? It's not the answer to happily ever after if you don't continue to try. Relationships you constantly have to work at them. Okay, you constantly have to communicate, spend time, prioritize your relationship, prioritize, showing each other that you care about each other, that you love each other, that you're, working on improving yourself, communication for each other. Okay, there's definitely love that's here between you and this person, but yeah, with the fork in the road, it's like Spirit saying, either one of you could be at that place right now where you're like, should I continue or should I let it go? And that is your decision. That is one that you have to make for yourself based off of what intuition is really telling you. And I feel like with the door to Spirit here, some of you may be feeling that your heart is calling you into a new direction. And if that is what Spirit is telling you to do, or your higher self is encouraging you to do, then you have to do what you feel is best for yourself. Okay? It could be that you honestly just, when you talk about your feelings with your person, that you let them know, I'm feeling bored, or I'm feeling unhappy. I want things to change, or, I want to see more serious commitment from you, or I want you to feel more open to taking a risk of committing, right, to yourself, to this relationship, and that person does not do anything, does not change. You have to trust your gut feeling. So yeah, I kind of feel like this pile is like very 50-50 about whether or not this is actually going to last, because it really depends on you. It depends on the work that you put in, the work that this person puts in. So you have to really kind of go with your gut. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here for you, pile number 3. I hope this helped to bring a little bit of clarity, because especially with this kind of situation, I feel like it's going to be kind of mixed for you guys that are dealing with the situation. But so long as you can see kind of where you stand, your person stands, and you can really try to trust your gut feeling about what to do with this. Some of you, yes, that it is possible for you to work on it, improve it, spend some more time together, improve the way that you communicate with the person, because I definitely feel like there is love that's here. It just could be that the things are a little bit stagnant, a little bit like needing to kind of, spice it up a little bit, maybe in your connection with the person. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here for you, pile 3. Hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you guys in the next reading.